Hey everyone, Irit here with another video in what is now becoming a multi-part series, a limited series as Netflix call it, about painting an abstract floral, where here's a spoiler. I have recorded another part, so this is part 3. Part 4 is already recorded, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just kidding. My point is that after part 4 there is still no finished painting, which I'm okay with that. I hope that this series will kind of give you a glimpse into my process working on a painting, and I don't know, what is the goal here? I mean, the nice end result would be a finished painting that I'm happy with, but the goal is also to paint and enjoy the time and relax and learn new things, try new things. So in that sense, this is successful. Okay, so check out part 1 and part 2. I don't want to repeat myself, but part 2 ended with 2 studies or paintings that were, okay. Certain parts of them were interesting and worth exploring, and then other parts were a huge fail. So I decided to go back to my good ideas sketchbook, which is what I'm working in. And this is a sketchbook where I take things that worked in other paintings or sketches or studies, it doesn't really matter, and kind of focus on them. Now, this wasn't exactly that because I also tried a few new things, but the base here is things that I already know and like. What is the point of this good ideas sketchbook? Well, I think, first of all, it's a very enjoyable sketchbook to work in because I kind of know what I'm doing, and there's a good chance that I'll end up with something that I'm happy with because I am basically kind of regurgitating ideas that worked on previous pieces. And what's the point in that? Well, it's kind of like a morale boost for me, not to do everything always in that mode of trial and a lot of error, not knowing. I mean, here I don't know exactly how it'll look in the end because it is watercolor and I'm not doing an exact copy of previous paintings, but I kind of know that I'll generally like the result. There is a basic idea here. I kind of know what I'm doing, so there's not a lot of, room for error in the sense that there's not a big surprise here. I kind of know where I'm going with each page. And I think the best thing would be, besides the fact that it's just fun to play in such a sketchbook that it's, most pages are going to end up pretty or something you're happy with, is I think at the end of it that I'll have this beautiful sketchbook that I can use as a really nice, encouraging reference that, just also gives me that positive feedback because I know I had a good time working on it. So it's kind of like I'm trying to work on that kind of positive feedback, reinforcing those feelings, and so I can tap into that when I need it. So that's what we're doing today. We're painting these 2 pages, all the ideas you have seen in the previous videos. There is really nothing new here. Some will be kind of amplified on the right side, but the left side is really just portions of the previous paintings that I liked. This time I kind of knew how to correct myself with the details on the leaves, the petals of the hibiscus flower a little bit better. So you can see like I think my pencil work is more on point here. And that makes me happy, and I kind of know what to pay attention to, and I kind of know what didn't work in the previous paintings, so I know I should be careful with that. I do love painting in a very loose, almost abstract way, but there are certain details, especially the way that petals bend and the way that, you know, you have to paint that to get a image that has depth and is not like super flat or looks like a child drew it. I mean, just in that, you know, very flat, basic way that sometimes looks great, but it's not what I'm after in this particular case. So you do need to pay attention. I feel when I paint florals, I feel that's one of my biggest challenge, to get the petals to look right, to look dimensional, to look like they're, you know, coming at you or going backwards, getting that bend to look right. So trying to focus on that here. And then the rest is kind of basic. It's just colors that I enjoyed before, just adding them, trying to get the placement of other colors in a way that I like. And yes, my kids are here all the time, so it's quite challenging to record this voiceover. So I'm just adding a few, like a little bit of line work, brush work, which I also enjoyed doing, and that's kind of it. I'm keeping the other stuff I already did around me as inspiration, and here I'm going to take that idea of colorful stripes in the background. Yeah, I'm just going to take it all the way, and I don't think that it's something I want to... Definitely not an element that I would keep in this way. It's way, way too colorful and just a bit of an eyesore. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe your personal style or aesthetics would like that, and that's great. I don't think there are... I mean, some things probably a lot of people would agree don't work, but certain things are just a personal taste kind of thing. And a lot of what I try to figure out as I'm painting is, what do I really love, which sounds kind of weird or basic or kind of obvious. I mean, obviously you should know what you like, but I'm not sure that I do in my own art. I see a lot of things around me, and I can say, ooh, I like this painting by a certain artist. I like that painting. I like this style. I like that style. But for myself, I'm always trying to find my way. Like, how colorful do I want to get? How sketchy do I want to get? How loose? And then see if I have the skill required to get the look that I want. And if not, then I have to go learn. And it's this constant, I don't want to say struggle. I think journey is a more, positive way of looking at it. I mean, it is a struggle in a way, but it's just a really interesting process, discovering these things, trying new stuff. I think most days I figure out what I don't like and what I don't want to do, and then it's not so easy knowing exactly what I do want to do. So anyway, let's just talk more shop here. I started with these stripes, which I tried in one of the previous paintings, and I decided to really make them colorful. I was going to leave the spaces between them blank or kind of white or very bright or very whitish, but yeah, that doesn't work like that. I'm going in with a yellow watercolor pencil, which I really love. Yellow is a bit of a magic color to me. First of all, I don't like a lot of it, but I really like to glaze with it and splatter with it, because I tend to work with a lot of pinks and turquoises and blues. And then when you sprinkle yellow on them, if you have the right yellow and it's all like working well, you get really pretty oranges and really pretty bright greens from when it lands on the turquoise, and pretty greens when it mixes with the blue. So I really, really enjoy using yellow as kind of a highlight. And here I tried to see if it worked as kind of, the sketch lines of the flowers. And I don't think that it does. I mean, it does to some extent. Maybe combine it with the black lines. I just find that the black lines, the black like pencil lines, add a lot of detail and contrast, but kind of in a subtle way, or in the way that I like it, kind of very keeping things sketchy, still light, not going too heavy on, you know, like cross-hatching or that kind of thing, which I'm still figuring out where I stand on that. So I think at this point, if I stopped here and kind of took a good look and then went in with the other things that I did before, going in with a pencil and adding some darks, that could have worked. And here I go, adding a little bit of darkness. This is Dusk Pink, which I'm really loving at the moment. It's a color by you can find it in the Van Gogh range or Rembrandt. And it's basically just like pink mixed with a granulating black color, but I really, really love it. And it also has a really nice formula. It re-wets so beautifully, so you can get that really intense color without having to work on your, you know, watercolor pan for ages till you get the color to be in its full intensity. So yeah, so now I added some of the dark lines, and there's a lot of things here that I enjoy. I love stripes. It's one of the things that makes me happy, stripes and polka dots. And I would be interested in exploring using them more in my artwork. They have something that is like whimsical to me. And yeah, I don't know. I like that. I'm not sure how to make it really work for me or for this particular painting or series or whatever you want to call this that I'm working on. But yeah, why not try? So this is kind of the point of no return. I think if I stopped here and just added a few accents here and there, it would have been good. But yeah, that I did not do that. Instead, I went full in. And that's fine too. You know, you have to go too far sometimes to know that you've gone far enough, and then beyond that. It's just all about playing. I don't want to play it safe. I want to try things and see what works for me. And the nice thing about kind of working from your own ideas, you're kind of just, I don't want to use again the word regurgitating, but you're kind of just not really recycling, you're kind of working through these ideas and these concepts. And this is a great way and opportunity to see, you know, what works and what doesn't. And a lot of things are, you know, it's like very close, but not there yet. It's not fully baked, like the idea, but it's just fun to play with it. So the things that I keep returning to and that I really like is my basic composition. I really like having these two flowers, although I think next part is only one flower, which actually also worked kind of nicely. But I like that kind of composition. I really like cobalt violet as my main color. And basically, those are the two ideas that I'm going to run with in the next part and kind of try to slow it down, take it down like 10 notches with the colors and yeah, see what comes out of it, which I found very interesting. Now, when I'm looking at this makes me happy. I can't deny it. There's something about that background rainbow stripy wall, let's call it, that makes me happy. And I think maybe with very minimalistic florals that were just painted in pencil and left white, I don't know, I think it could be a fun painting. So it's in my good ideas sketchbook, and I can, you know, marinate with this idea, let it marinate and see what comes out next time. I hope you're enjoying this series. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. I'd love to know. Bye.